Americans love a winner and will not tolerate a loser.
What does it take to become a soldier? Aside from the obvious, there's a need for physical and mental strength that most of us can only dream of. These people have passed the world's toughest training programs with flying colors, and now they're out there doing their bit and pausing for no one other than their comrades. No matter what comes their way, be it frostbite, dangerous terrain, or approaching enemies, these are the soldiers that will stop at nothing to achieve their missions. Better known as the Black Storks because of the color of their headwear, Pakistan's elite SSG troops regularly top the list of the world's most formidable special units. This team has faced more danger than many other forces combined, and they show their determination from the word go. When they first pledge allegiance to their unit, these men cut their thumb and use that blood to stamp the agreement. Part of their intense training program is jumping from a plane at different altitudes. But a fear of heights is probably one of the easiest things that these soldiers have to learn to deal with. It's rare for a high percentage of soldiers to pass their training, but for Spain's Unidad de Operaciones Especiales, it's not uncommon for 100% of soldiers to fail. Outside of the Navy SEALs, this might just be the hardest team to get into. This unit's motto translated is "Enter those who can, not those who want." They're an incredibly highly skilled team who take on unconventional challenges that other soldiers would not be capable of. Russia as a country is known for many things, and a collection of some of the most terrifying soldiers in the world is definitely on that list. The Alpha Group is part spy network, part counterterrorism team, part general-purpose commando squad, and entirely terrifying. The entire group is hard as nails and takes no prisoners, unless that's what they've been instructed to do. They're often famed for being skilled and fearless. They're trained to take orders and to follow them, no matter the consequences. Over in Poland, this country has learned to always be cautious of threats from one particular Russian president. As a result, their operational maneuvering response team is prepped and ready to go for just about any threat that could come their way. These soldiers train at Drawsko-Pomorsky, the biggest military training ground in Europe. And once they're there, they undertake training like the notorious Anaconda 18, their toughest NATO preparation method. Their drills come in the form of improvised assaults by covert operatives using poison gas made from stolen fertilizer. When it comes to the soldiers fighting in France's National Gendarmerie Intervention Group, you'll never see their faces anywhere because their roles are so tough and so dangerous that it's actually illegal in France to publish their faces anywhere. Over the years, it's consistently remained as France's premier counterterrorism and hostage rescue unit. One piece of gear in particular not only differentiates the unit from others in the country, but it is also deeply ingrained in its lore and tradition. We're talking about the revolver, and in particular the French-built Manourin MR-73. Another group of soldiers you won't often hear about is Israel's Sayeret Matkal. Although Israel's most elite unit was not founded originally to carry out hostage rescues and counter-terror operations, it ended up doing just that anyway. Like all soldiers, their training included all of the basic survival techniques, but this unit focused around one thing in particular: carrying out their mission without being detected and leaving no trace. As a team that focuses their work on intelligence gathering, they often operate deep behind enemy lines, meaning you'll never know they're there until it's too late. It's been argued that selection for Britain's elite SAS force is the toughest in the world. The Special Air Service is the longest active special missions unit in existence and has remained one of the best. Most of that boils down to the incredibly intense training that all wannabe soldiers have to undergo. Training includes timed cross-country marches, treks through jungles, and a mountain climb. There's a 90% failure rate, and troops are expected to pass everything from interrogation to solo hikes through the mountains with a set time limit. Lessons on tradecraft, medical care, and hand-to-hand combat are also included. This segment is run in the hot, dense jungles of Brunei, Belize, or Malaysia. By the end of SAS selection, an initial batch of around 200 candidates will have dwindled down to around 25. The Pentagon offers few details about the group, its organization, or even how many operators there are in total. We're talking about the USA's Delta Force, who were responsible for Operation Red Dawn, otherwise known as the capture of one very notorious individual. This elite special mission unit is made up of only the finest soldiers who are prepared to go out on life or limb to do everything to succeed in their task. The selection process suggests that the only people who would make the cut would have to be, quote, men who enjoyed being alone, who could think and operate by themselves, men who were strong-minded and resolute. You definitely need to hear about the SBS, or Special Boat Service. Despite being mainly water-based, these soldiers have to acquire the skills to operate in the various key terrains: mountains, the Arctic, the desert, temperate climates, and in the jungle. One of the SBS's most famous soldiers was a man who was known as Steve Grayling. Even in the depths of his mission in Iraq, when his fingers had lost all feeling, he still kept a firm grip on his gun. This mission, which took place back in March 2003, was one that the soldiers had pretty much assumed wouldn't end positively. Despite being attacked time and time again by enemy soldiers, the SBS powered through, relying on team morale to keep them alive. Everybody's heard of the Navy SEALs, but not everyone knows exactly how tough these soldiers have to be to even be considered for training. These soldiers have to become incredibly skilled and at the top of their game for every possible issue. The training might be dangerous, but it results in success. Chris Kyle, a previous Navy SEAL, became the most lethal sniper in U.S. military history over 4 tours in Iraq. Another, Rudy Bosch, earned a Bronze Star for his actions in the Vietnam War, during which he participated in 45 combat missions, including raids, ambushes, rescues, and intelligence ops. In 1999, about 1 out of every 3 BUD students became a SEAL. Today, only 1 in 5 make it through the course, the Navy says. China's Snow Leopard Commando Unit is known as a group of men of steel because of the intense 5-year training they go through to pass the tests and qualify. Each loaded with more than 30 kilograms of gear, these groups of young men in field uniforms trek across mountain forests or deserted islands, covering a distance of over 35 kilometers every day, with only about 4 hours rest to keep them going. For this torturous week, they're supplied with little more than 2 bottles of water every day and self-heating food for the first 3 days. Launched back in 2002, the unit is mainly tasked with urban anti-terrorism missions, and training also features everything from a 5-kilometer cross-country run to a 150-kilogram deep squat. Not many people can say that saving a person from pirates is part of their day job, but that's exactly the case for Spain's Special Naval Warfare Force. Back in 2011, they rescued a French hostage from Somali pirates. Troops from a Spanish warship stormed the pirate skiff in the Gulf of Aden and rescued the hostage, although they couldn't find her husband. The priority was to search for any vessel that might have been leaving the area and heading for the coast of Somalia, and somehow, against all odds, these incredible soldiers found and rescued the hostage. The Taiwanese military takes safety one step further, with their soldiers' uniform and bulletproof face masks are just one element where they're taking no chances. Completed with black body armor, the soldiers also wield heavy weaponry including assault rifles, bulletproof shields, and submachine guns. Ballistic face masks are usually made of bullet-resistant synthetic materials like Kevlar and are meant to protect soldiers from excessive harm. The masks are padded for shock absorption and are built to absorb close-range shots of anything up to a .44 Magnum. The Joint Task Force 2 is known as the jewel in the crown of Canada's Special Forces because of their incredible ability to withstand cold temperatures. Roughly 20 soldiers on average need treatment during exercises in the extreme cold before their bodies adapt to the surroundings. One soldier, Major Kevin Wong, said, "We train for the worst-case scenario in the harshest conditions, whether it's cold or hot, whether it's on land or near water. We have to be ready to respond to the needs of Canadians." We'll end this video with a different type of soldier entirely. We're talking about the Frogmen Corps, a group of Danish soldiers who wear headgear for camouflage purposes. The list of tasks these soldiers have to undergo is seemingly never-ending. This maritime special operations force might be lovely men underneath the costumes, but these masks ensure they keep a notable place on our list of soldiers today.